Good morning, everyone. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Your Honor, good morning.
Good morning. Ms. Strong, can
Good
you
morning.
see the full calendar? I only have the add-on for some reason. I do, and I think I was left off the distribution email for the full state all-purpose.
Okay, I'll send it.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started once I have that calendar, but I'll go ahead and greet everyone. Good morning. This is the state all-purpose calendar in the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia. I'm Judge Melanie Williams. Today we'll address a variety of matters, including arraigned cases, take pleas, and take up other matters as necessary. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney today. And there are several members of the Public Defender's Office there at the jail. This particular proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It is also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch this. When I ask if you understand your rights, that is what I am referring to. All right, let me see if I've received the calendar. Hopefully I have. Not quite yet. In the meantime, are there other announcements that I should be aware of? All right, assuming none. And who is first at the jail? Who do we have first?
Good morning, Your Honor. This is ACDC. Before you is position number 2, Mr. Christopher Carlos.
Okay, Mr. Carlos, do you understand your rights today?
Yeah, ma'am.
All right. And Ms. Bickerstaff, because I don't have a calendar, will you please put the case number and the charge onto the record for me?
Yes, Your Honor. So this is case number 23CR002487Y. No, I am so sorry. That is the wrong defendant's number. Mr. Carlisle's case number is 23CR003927E, and he's been charged with interference with custody.
All right, thank you. And what is the announcement for this particular case? Is it Mr. Dotis that is handling this position?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
This could be a negotiated plea. We wanted to confirm the jail time calculation based on the offer. I want to make sure that he's getting the correct amount of time that he's owed for this, because right now the offer is 12 months to serve 365 days. I see that he had 3 days of credit back in 2021 when this alleged event first, when he was brought in for this. And he did serve for another matter for 376 days, but a formal accusation wasn't put in for this charge until June 21st of this year. So I don't want him to enter a plea if I don't know that he has been getting credit for this, and I've been unable to reach jail records to confirm that.
All right, Ms. Bickerstaff, can you speak to that?
I'm not sure. I made the offer based off what I saw in honesty that he's been in jail for over a year, and so it was essentially supposed to be a time served plea if he is getting credit for it. So let me just text my supervisor.
Or we could amend it to the time that he is actually. How much time has he been booked in for this charge?
Your Honor, I would say, I know for sure he was booked in back in 2021. He received 3 days of credit. And then again, the accusation was entered on June 21st of this year. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like I would say for sure he gets 7 days of credit for this case, but he has been in custody for 376 days.
Okay, so maybe if we changed it to credit, 14 days credit for time served. I don't know, I always get that part reversed. But so essentially he would get credit for the 7 days, Ms. Bickerstaff?
Yes, I'm looking in Odyssey just to like double check the time that he just to double check this really quickly. Just one second.
Judge Williams, did you receive the calendar?
I have it now. Thank you, Ms.
You're
Green.
welcome.
Okay, so Your Honor, we can do what it would be to serve 14 days, credit for time served 7, and then for the defendant balance suspended and just to have no contact with Tiara Anderson.
Okay. So will you put the entire recommendation onto the record, just to make sure we've got it?
Yes, so it's gonna be 12 months to serve 14 days, credit for time served 7 days, balance suspended, and no further contact with Tiara Anderson.
All right. And Mr. Jonas, was that your understanding of the offer? Do you stipulate the factual basis, ID, and venue?
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask if it could be no further violent contact. This case did occur in 2021, and I know that they do share custody of the child, so we would ask if the state could speak on if a victim advocate has reached out, if there be any objections, no further violent contact, so that Mr. Carlisle is able to be a part of his child's life.
If you would give me 1 second, I'm reaching out to my victim advocate. I'm looking, just 1 second.
And if you want to take it non-negotiated, we can get into the facts, but please do confer the victim advocate first.
Good morning, Your Honor. We actually have not had contact with the victim. That's why we're asking for the no contact. And in this case, the defendant, who is allegedly the victim's child's father, has not been legitimized. And he essentially took the child and refused to return the child. So unless he's legitimized, we're asking for no contact.
Okay, does your client still want to take the plea, Mr. Jonas, if the court decides it will be a no contact plea?
Mr. Carlisle, we spoke about all the options yesterday. Do you understand that the offer on the table would have no further contact with do you want to go forward with the offer?
I'm saying, yeah, I do it, but I'm saying what I had to do, just get legitimized to see my kid, because we got 2 kids now. We just had one.
Would you like to, wait, would you like to speak to him, Mr. Dotis?
Yes, Your Honor. If I could have a phone call to courtroom 2.
Yeah, that might be good, right? So that he doesn't say something that he should not.
Right.
All right.
Yeah,
So can ACDC call courtroom 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Can we take up position 34 and 35?
Okay, we'll take those while that call is being made. All right. Good morning. Are you Andra Young?
Yes, I'm young.
All right. You have two cases, 23 CR 0000129Y and 23 CR 0000131Y. In both cases, you're charged with theft by shoplifting. Do you understand your rights this morning?
Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. I have that these are a negotiated plea. Is that still the announcement?
2 counts on negotiated pleas and the last 2 positions on the calendar, Your Honor.
Wonderful. All right. Mr. Robinson, if you would go ahead and put the state's offer onto the record.
Yes, Your Honor. The incident happened at 590 Cascade Avenue. Officer arrived to the incident location. That was a DD's discount, and was told by a woman named Tamala Johnson that the defendant in this case was arrested for stealing previously. The officer then conducted a photo lineup to which the manager of the store, whose name was Nidra Kelly, and was able to point out the defendant. So for the bond recommendation, he appeared to already have a split bond of $1,500. So we're asking for 12 months to serve, 112 days, credit for time served, 56 days, balance probated, a theft course, and to stay away from 590 Cascade Avenue, Atlanta, which was the incident location.
Okay, one question. Let me make sure I got it right. You said credit for time served. Serve how many days? Let's do that again. How many days and then credit for how many days? 12 months to serve, and I was trying to write it down.
12 months to serve, credit for time served, 56 days, balance probated, theft course, and to stay away from 590 Cascade Avenue, Atlanta.
And the second case, I'm assuming it's similar facts. Well, is it the same recommendation to run concurrent?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. McLean, was that your understanding of the offer, and do you stipulate the factual basis, ID, and
Your Honor,
venue?
that's basically correct. On case of position number 34, it's on one date. And the recommendation has to do with a theft course. On the next date or the previous day, which is case position number 35, it's going to be 20 hours community service and not the theft class. So
Okay, so he does one class and one set of community service. And is the stay away location the same for both? Did he go back to the same store?
the same location for both cases, and he knows what that address is.
Right, I believe I remember this case. I think I sent bond in this case.
I don't know that he could recite the address, but he knows where to stay away from. I'll put it that way.
Well, that's the heart of it right there. All right. I'm gonna ask you some questions to make sure that this is a voluntary plea, okay? Will you please raise your right hand, Mr. Young? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today for the limited purpose of taking a plea will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes.
Did anyone force you to take a plea?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No.
And you understand that taking the plea today, you'll have no further court dates regarding these charges?
Yes.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
And you understand the requirements. You should not have additional time to serve at the Fulton County Jail on these two charges. However, you will need to complete community service and you need to stay away from that location. And you're also going to take a theft course. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
All right. As to the charges of theft by shoplifting, Mr. Young, how do you plead?
Yes.
I accept your guilty plea at this time.
Your
All
Honor,
right.
could he please have a non-reporting status after he completes the theft course in the 20 hours?
Yes, once he's completed the requirements, his probation, his probation can go now reporting.
Thank you.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Young. That concludes your case at this time.
And Your Honor, we are ready to go forward with a negotiated plea on position number 2.
All right, and he understands about the no contact provisions, notice, and he's ready and willing to go forward with the plea.
Yes, Your Honor, we discussed that. He knows what he needs to do outside of this courtroom, but for today, we are prepared to go for the negotiated plea and do stipulate the factual basis, venue, and ID.
All right, and Ms. Bickerstaff, just for the perfection of the record, will you please put the offer back on, please?
Yes, Your Honor. So the offer is going to be 12 months to serve 14 days, credit for time served 7 days, balance suspended, and no further contact with Ms. Tierra Anderson.
And Mr. Dotis has said that he understands and stipulates. All right, will you please raise your right hand so I can place you under oath for the purpose of taking the plea? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
No.
Was that a yes?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down, sir. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yeah, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No.
And you understand that by taking the plea, you're giving up your right to any further court dates regarding this charge?
Yeah, ma'am.
And you understand that you cannot have any contact with Ms. Anderson at this time?
Yeah, ma'am.
All right, as to the charge of interference with custody, how do you plead, Ms. Carlisle?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything further from either the state or defense?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Number 1, Mr. Denzel Benton, position 1.
All right, thank you. Good morning.
And
Mr. Bentley.
Your
your
Honor,
case- Yes.
I apologize. So position 1 is a conflict. I'm not sure if Attorney McLeod.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. Ms. McLeod is not here.
Oh, all right.
We have some private attorneys on the line, I believe. I'm sorry, Ms. Strong, is she not coming?
She's coming. I apologize. She said she had a hearing with, I believe it was Judge Richardson, this morning at 9, so she would be on as soon as she was done.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you for letting me know.
We'll go to position number 5, Mr. Akita Cole, position 5.
All right, and afterwards, are there private attorneys on the line? Because he won.
Yes, Judge.
Who do you represent?
Quavius Durham. I'm not sure what position he is.
Is Mr. Durham there? Can we take that position after we complete this one?
Your Honor, he's on the floor, he's not in the courtroom.
Okay, I figured we're never that lucky that he would be right there. All right, but we tried. All right, and I'm sorry, please remind me who's sitting before me. This is position 1?
This is position number 5, Mr. Akita Cole.
Oh, 5. That's I'm sorry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Cole. Your case number is 23 CR 003874C. You're charged with theft by shoplifting. Do you understand your rights this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And your announcement, Mr. Dotis?
Yes, Your Honor, this will be a negotiated plea.
All right, Ms. Bickerstaff, will you please put the offer into the record?
Yes, the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve 22 days, credit for time served 11 days, balance probated, to stay away from the Dollar General at 4894 Old National Highway, and an anti-theft course.
Okay, and Mr. Dotis, that was your understanding of the offer. And do you so stipulate the factual basis, ID, and venue?
Yes, Your Honor, we do so stipulate the 3 elements for the purpose of this plea. We would request for Mr. Cole to switch to non-reporting status upon completion of the theft course. And Mr. Cole tells me he's not currently employed, so we would ask if Your Honor could waive a few months of his probation.
All right. Mr. Cole, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yeah.
Did anyone force you to take a plea?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No.
Was that a no? Did someone promise?
No, my bad.
Okay, okay,
My bad, I'm sorry.
okay. You understand that you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
And you further understand that you're gonna have no further court dates regarding this charge?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand also that this charge, taking a guilty plea, may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment or other things we might not be able to anticipate?
Yes.
All right, as to the charge of theft by shoplifting, Mr. Cole, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right, I accept your guilty plea. You'll be on probation for 12 months. You should not have additional time to serve at the Fulton County Jail. You're also gonna complete a theft course and stay away from that store on Old National Highway. You understand all of that?
Yes, I do.
All right, wonderful. I will waive 2 months of fees to give him time to take that course. And after he's completed, he can go non-reported. Does anyone know how long the class is? Is it just 1 day?
Yes, Your Honor, it's just 1 day.
Okay, so 2 months should give him sufficient time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Cole. Who do we have next?
Position number 11.
All right, thank you. Forgive me, it takes a little longer to click. All right, good morning. Are you Jean-Louis William John Louis? All right, good morning. Your case number is 23 CR 003693Y. You're charged with criminal trespass and public drunkenness. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And the announcement for this case this morning?
This is gonna be a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
All right. And if the state would put the offer into the record, please.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. The state is recommending that The defendant served 12 months with 32 days confinement. Credit for time served of 16 days. The balance probated. That he complete an alcohol drug examination, and also that he stay away from the racetrack gas station at 11515 Alpharetta Highway, Roswell.
All right, Mr. Jonas, was that your understanding of the offer? And do you stipulate the factual basis, ID, and venue?
Yes, Your Honor, that's our understanding of the offer, and we do so stipulate to the 3 elements for the purpose of this plea.
All right, thank you. Please raise your right hand so I can ask you some questions. All right, do you swear to affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, wonderful. Please put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Did anyone force you to take a plea?
No, Your Honor.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand you'll have no further court dates regarding these charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you further understand that you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that taking a guilty plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment or immigration?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you understand the requirements that you cannot go back to that location. And you additionally will need to undergo some treatment and evaluation. You understand all of that? But you should not have additional time to serve at the Fulton County Jail.
Yes, Your Honor.
As to the charge I previously listed, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea at this time. Is there anything further from state or defense?
Your Honor, my apologies for not bringing it up earlier. We would request for my client to switch to non-reporting status upon completion of the ADET.
In theory, I don't have a problem with that, but if they find an issue, won't he need to continue to report?
So
I guess they would release him. That's fine. Upon completion of the conditions, he can go non-reporting.
thank you, Your Honor.
All right, take care. Best of luck to you, sir. All right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Don't go back to that location.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Who do we have next?
Next, we have position number 20, Mr. Derek Morris.
All right, let's see. All right, Mr. Morris, your case is 23 CR 0038538. In this case, you're charged with simple battery. Do you understand your rights?
Yeah.
All right, and the announcement, Mr. McLean?
You know, this is a negotiated plea. Thank you for the allowing the delay because we were unable to see him yesterday. They had moved him from one location to another. In this case, Your Honor, it is going to be a probated recommendation as we understand the terms. And we are going to stipulate, or we do stipulate hereby to factual basis, venue, and identification. He is
Wonderful.
challenged. So being on probation, normally we try to have the probation department, the JCS outfit get a phone number, an alternate phone number, an emergency contact. He has none. His relatives are dead. And so unfortunately, I'm going to make sure that he gets a sheet identical to what I'm turning into JCS. And that has JCS's address and phone
So
number.
that he will actually report. Okay. And we'll consider, let me hear from the state regarding the offer. Can I have the offer from the state, please?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is recommending that the defendant serve 12 months with 30 days confinement, credit for time served of 13 days, balance probated. We would ask that he complete a 6-week anger management course. Also, alcohol drugs examination. He should have no further contact with the victim, Louise Woolridge. And we also recommend that he stay away from the incident location.
Okay. And what's that incident location?
It is.
And if he's serving 30 days credit for 13 days, Does that mean he has an additional day to serve at the Fulton County Jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was that your understanding, Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, since I just met him this morning, I'm afraid we didn't get a chance to get into that level of detail, and we should. If I could have a moment to talk with him.
Yes, please speak with him. And I see Ms. McLeod is now on the line. So perhaps we can go to Ms. McLeod's position and come back to position 20, but I've written that down. And if the jail would, what is his history? I'm just wondering if, well, we'll see if we'll go non-negotiated or not. All right.
Ms. McLeod is talking to her client as we speak.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
And the only one I have left is position number 33. That's Mr. Taylor. But
Is
he-
that Mr. Dotis's case?
No, he said that's his attorney is Mr. Muhammad.
Who's not on the line?
He's not on the line.
It never works out, does it? It just never does. Ms. Strong, has Mr. Muhammad entered an entry for this case?
What position is this, Judge?
I'm sorry, will you please tell me the defendant's name again?
Position 33, Mr. Taylor, position
Mr.
33.
Taylor? I'm looking at let me look at my calendar as well.
No, ma'am.
I was wondering if there was an entry.
No, ma'am, there's not an entry.
Okay. Is he declining the services of public defender's office? All right, who is before me?
This is Mr. Taylor, position 33, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Taylor, you said that you retained a private attorney. Your attorney is not on the line at this time. Do you wish to have the services of the public defender's office? He has also not entered the documents necessary to show that he represents you in this case. So, do you wish to have services of the public defender's office today?
Yeah, I take position.
Okay. Will someone at courtroom 2 please let either Mr. McLean or Mr. Dotis know that he needs to be interviewed?
Will do, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And whenever you guys are ready, I believe position number 1, Mr. Bentley, he's ready to go.
We're ready for position 1.
I am ready also, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. McLeod. Great to see you. Glad that you are here. All right, Mr. Bentley, your case is 23 CR 002487Y. You're charged with simple battery family violence and battery family violence. Do you understand your rights this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and whose case is this for the state? No takers from the state. Mr. Walker?
I'm sorry, what position is this, Shana?
Number 1.
Ms. McLeod, do you have an announcement?
Staff, are you?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is going to be taking a plea this morning based on the state's offer.
All right.
Take
Staff
it.
process?
One second. Not sure where Ms. Bickerstaff went, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
Ms. Bickerstaff did not want to join us any longer.
1 second, let me get my calendar pulled up. Position 1. So the recommendation for position 1 is 12 months to serve, 365 days. Credit for time served, 365 days. That's it. It would be time served at that point.
And he's been booked in 365 for this particular charge. I want to make sure,
Let me double check that, Your Honor.
because I don't want him to get stuck. Does he have other holds, Ms. McLeod?
No, he does not, Your Honor. And he really
Okay.
wants to go home.
I'm sure.
He has actually spent 546 days in total in jail.
Okay, I just want to make sure that the time he served for this charge is associated with the particular offense. so that we can either change the amount of time served or take other action.
Yes, Your Honor.
He's been in for 365 days on this case, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, ma'am.
And you understand that by taking the plea today, you're giving up your right to challenge this charge later in a court of law?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're also giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that taking a guilty plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment or immigration or anything of that nature?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as to the charge of simple battery family violence and battery family violence, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Essentially, the time that you served at the Fulton County Jail should close out this case, okay?
Okay.
All right. Best of luck
Your
to you.
Honor.
That concludes your case. Ms. McLeod, is that your only case today?
This is my only case, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Take care, Ms. McLeod. Have a good one.
You too, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, who's sitting before me now?
This is position number 20, Mr. Derek Morris.
All right, Mr. McLean, did he decide he wants to take it with the additional 1 day served in the Fulton County Jail?
Your Honor, he is willing to do that. Yes, Your Honor. And because there are no emergency contact numbers, he's going to go to a shelter and he's going to promise to show up at 132 Mitchell Street. So
All right.
where he's going to go to is one of the Salvation Army places. And what he was describing to me best fits the homeless shelter on Lucky, which is about a half a block or so away from the Red Shield facility on Marietta.
All right, as long as there's an address and he knows to get to probation, we can move forward. All right, sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury? All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time? Did anyone force you to take a plea today? Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea? And you understand that if by taking a plea, you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. And you understand that taking a plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment or immigration or other things we might not be able to anticipate.
Yes.
All right. And you also understand the requirements. You're gonna undergo alcohol evaluation and treatment. You have 1 additional day, I believe, to serve in the Fulton County Jail. And you also need to stay away from that BP location. Do you understand all of that, sir?
Yeah.
All right. Let me find the specific charge again. As to the charge, this is position 20. As to the charge of simple battery, Mr. Morris, how do you plead? Oh, that's the wrong charge, isn't it? Is that correct? He's also to have no contact with Ms. Woolridge. Is that correct, Mr. Eggers?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
Okay, so that is not a stay away. Let me make sure I have it right. He also needs to complete a 6-week anger management, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so let me make sure you understand these requirements. You have 1 additional day to serve in Fulton County Jail. You have to take a 6-week anger management course, undergo alcohol, drug evaluation and treatment, stay away from Ms. Woolridge. And will you give me the stay away location, Mr. Eggers?
280 Lucky Street, Atlanta.
Okay, that isn't the shelter, is it, Mr. McLean?
280 Lucky, what saying?
280 Lucky Street. What is 280 Lucky Street? I hope that's not the shelter he's intending to go back to.
I know the shelter we were thinking of is on Lucky Street and it could,
That's what I want to make sure. Is that the shelter? Because it sounds like it's part of this plea. He would not, let me try to look it up myself. he would not be able to to return to that location. Is that where this happened? Let's see. I have the 280 Lucky Street is a restaurant. Does that sound right?
Your Honor, I just looked it up. I also have it as a restaurant.
Okay, so Mr. Eggers, does the factual basis show that this took place at a restaurant? And I'm assuming Ms. Woolridge was an employee there?
Oh, well, Your Honor, it occurred on a sidewalk
Okay, so he just can't go back to that location. I just want to make sure it wasn't.
down in
the
front of it.
Okay, I want to make sure it wasn't the shelter. All right, you understand you cannot go back to that location and you can have no contact with Ms. Woolridge?
And Your Honor, I do have a question for the state. Does the state's information show that he was arrested on the same day as the occurrence?
Are you trying to get the additional day, Mr. McLean?
Right, Your Honor, because although it says in the little notes, and we normally understand this, the June 15th to be the date of coming into the Fulton County Jail, if he was arrested and taken over to ACDC on May the 15th, then he's been in over a month.
Hey, we can just word the disposition sheet however it needs to be worded for time served. We're not gonna stress over one day.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Walker. I appreciate that. So let's make it 30 days, credit for time served, 15 days, all right?
It needs to be 26 days to serve, credit for 13.
That's
Okay.
fine.
That's fine. All right, because that's fine. I thought it was that he had been for a month. All right. As to the charge of simple battery, how do you plead? I accept your guilty plea, and apparently you will not have that additional day to serve in the Fulton County Jail for this charge, all right? All right, that concludes your case. Best of luck to you at this time. All right, who do we have at jail court iPhone?
Position 30 through 32, Mr. King.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. King. I know that he has not heard his rights, I'm assuming.
No.
Okay, 30 through 33 I have is someone else.
Uh-oh.
I have 30 through 33 is someone last
No,
name.
30 through 32.
Well, either way, I have a different name. What is this
I do
gentleman?
as well.
What is his name?
Tommy King.
Okay, that's not even close to 30. He's no. I don't see him on, oh, he's number 17.
7. I'm sorry.
And I only see one charge.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
What's his name?
Tommy King, position 17, case 20 CR 003756, in which he's charged with battery. Should he have more cases on this calendar?
Your Honor,
He's on, it's Tommy and not Marquise, right?
Tommy,
Oh, okay.
position 17. So, Mr. Doda, should he have more cases?
he should just have this case. I did speak with Mr. King yesterday.
Okay, Mr. King, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney today. This proceeding is being conducted over the internet. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can watch this proceeding. Do you understand your rights and how I'm conducting the hearing today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Dotis, your announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, this is going to be a negotiated plea, and we just stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID.
All right, thank you. Mr. Eggers, if you would put the state's offer onto the record.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. This state recommends that the defendant serve 12 months, that he be given credit for time served of 365 days. And that's it.
And let's just make sure he did actually serve 365 on this charge.
Yes, Your Honor, when I look at the booking screen on Odyssey, it looks like he did, so he served 393 days. So based on my calculation, he has gotten the necessary credit for this to be time served.
All right, and you've already stipulated. Please raise your right hand, Mr. King. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did anyone force you to take a plea?
No, Your Honor.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, Your Honor.
And you understand you'll have no further court dates regarding this charge if you take the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're giving up the right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that taking a guilty plea may affect other aspects of your life that we may not be able to anticipate, such as employment or immigration.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, as to the charge of battery, Mr. King, how do you plead?
That's
How do
question for you. I'm
That's
sorry.
your, yes, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea at this time. Anything further from state or defense?
Your Honor, I'd just like to let Mr. King know, since he's not in the room with me, I've reached out to your attorney on your other matters. Hopefully he gets in contact with you, and I'll send you a letter with his contact information. I also called Mom yesterday and gave her an update on everything.
Thank you, sir.
All right, take care. That concludes your case.
All right, thank you, Judge.
All right, take care. All right, who do we have next?
Your Honor, we don't have anyone else in courtroom 2 except for 33. I'm just waiting for either. Are you ready for Dwayne? Yeah. Oh. Sorry. I apologize. You got position number 15.
All right, thank you.
My apologies.
That's okay. Good morning, Mr. Kareem. Your case is 20 CR 0000629. There's a letter missing off my calendar. But that's all right. In this case, you're charged with theft by taking. Do you understand your rights?
And Your Honor, if I could have 1 second, just so I received an updated offer and we're ready to go forward. I just want to make sure it's clear on what that is.
That's fine. Understood.
It's F, Judge Williams.
Yeah, okay.
It is left off the calendar, but it's on the folder.
Okay, that's fine. Yes. Well, it won't really matter beyond today. So I didn't sweat it. Thank you, Ms. Strong, though.
Yes, Your Honor, this will be a negotiated plea. And just to confirm, there should be a letter F, because I was able to find it on Odyssey without a letter, but I want to make sure.
Ms. Strong just advised.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed that.
That's fine. All right, Mr. Eggers, if you'll put the offer onto the record.
Yes, the state's recommendation is that the defendant serve 40 days with credit for time served of 40 days.
Okay, and he's actually served 40 days on this charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm surprised there's no request for a stay away?
We're fine. We anticipated a stay away, so we're fine with the stay away address in the incident report.
If the state does not want one, we don't have to.
Yes, Your Honor, we would request to stay away from the incident location of 414 4th Street, Atlanta.
Okay. Do we know, is that an essential business or is that a restaurant? Do we know what it is before I restrict him in its entirety from there?
It is a residence.
Okay. Understood. All right, please raise your right hand, Mr. Crane. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this time?
Oh, yeah.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, ma'am.
And you understand you'll have no further court dates regarding these charges?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that taking a guilty plea may affect other aspects of your life that we may not be able to anticipate, such as employment or immigration?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you understand that you should not have any additional time to serve at Fulton County Jail for this charge. However, you cannot return to that location on 4th Street?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as to the charge of, what was it? I'm sorry, my calendar. As to the charge of theft by taking, Mr. Kareem, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything further from state or defense?
Nothing.
All
for-
right. Hearing none, best of luck to you, Mr. Kareem. That concludes your case, all right?
Excuse me, Judge Williams, what was the address?
I have 414 4th Street, is that correct?
Mr. Eggers?
Yes, yes, yeah, 414 4th Street, Atlanta.
Thank you.
I did better than I thought. All right, and there's no other positions we can take at courtroom 2?
No, we don't. I'm just waiting for Mr. McLean to interview position 33.
Okay. What about at jail court's iPhone? Are we walking to another floor?
Yes, he's going to another floor. He's going to the floor. He's actually logging on right now, I believe.
Okay. Wonderful. Are there other announcements that anyone would like to give?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any resets or anything of that nature?
Yes, Your Honor. Number 33.
Uh-huh.
He's hired a private lawyer to handle his main case, and the what's on the calendar is a jail incident. So what he needs to do is, although this is a misdemeanor, he absolutely needs to consult with his regular lawyer to see if that regular lawyer feels that this jail incident would affect his other case.
Okay, so we will reset position 33. Let's do 2 weeks out, Ms. Strong. Is that possible? Is that calendar full?
We can do 2 weeks out. That's fine, Judge.
Oh, 2 weeks out is the 4th of July.
We can do
So,
the 6th then.
okay, we'll reset.
Oh.
that.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Jordan said. 1 second.
And Mr. Walker turned on his camera.
So I understand what Attorney McLean is saying, but just for a point of clarification, when the defendant comes back, will he be represented by the public defender's office or?
It
I mean,
sounds to me that he will not be. It sounds as if he does not wish to have public defender's office address him, but let's let Mr. McLean shed light on it. It sounds like his private attorney should be handling all of it, is the position of the public defender's office. But go ahead, Mr. McLean.
Believe he will probably be represented by his lawyer that he already hired on his main case. That lawyer, of course, since this occurred, since that hiring, he and that lawyer would need to decide to add this to his representation. But I anticipate that would probably happen, but I can't guarantee it.
I don't think it's unreasonable. And the other cases are still holding him in, correct?
Correct.
So I don't see much harm from a reset. Mr. Walker, does the state specifically object?
No, I'm not against the reset. I just want to make sure when we come back, we're not in the same position we are in today.
Well, I would hope not as
Depends.
well. I would hope not as well, but it happens.
Yeah.
Let's give him an extra week.
Mr. Jordan said the 11th, Judge. I apologize. I didn't mean to-
That's what I was
The reason
gonna
why I
say.
asked that is because he's previously been on the SAP calendar and he's already been reset. So I'm
For the
inclined.
same reason, was it? the same reason?
I'm not gonna lie, I can't recall the reason, but I'm inclined to think that he was on the SAP calendar before and the attorney has yet to file an entry. I don't want to reset it.
We
for a
could,
third time.
with one option is, Mr. McLean, we could waive arraignment and reset further notice to a division judge. Would you?
He would
have
be
an
pro
objection?
se doing that, Your Honor. The thing is, we emailed the attorney last week, just in advance of the SAP, and that attorney emailed back that he couldn't deal with it right now. He's on trial.
Okay, so in light of, at least there's been some discussion, we'll reset to July 11th
Okay.
and we'll see what happens there. All
What
right,
number was this again?
that was 33.
33.
33.
Thank you.
The age I shall forever be. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Can we go to, I see several positions on the line. Who do we have next?
Position 27 through 29,
Okay.
Mr. Spellers. I hope I got it right this time.
Yes, you do. Good morning, Mr. Spellers. I'm Judge Melanie Williams. Your case is 22. You have a couple cases. In 22 CR 0067777J, you're charged with simple battery, family violence, simple assault, family violence, criminal trespass, and willful obstruction with the offense date of October the 9th. In case 23 CR 00249J, you're charged with simple battery, family violence. And in case 23 CR 002499J, you're charged with criminal trespass and damage to property. In each of these cases, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney today. And this particular proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It is also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch this. Do you understand your rights and how I'm conducting this hearing this morning? Is that a yes?
Thumbs up.
All right. The announcement.
Your Honor, I understand this to be a negotiated plea on all three cases.
Okay.
And Your Honor, just for additional context, this case was a recipient today because there was an issue of restitution. On position 28 and position 29, the state will be requesting restitution. That was discussed at the last hearing, so I just want to put everyone on notice.
We don't see an amount on the,
So for 28, it'll be $232. On 29, it was $500.
okay.
What were the amounts that were, what were the items? I'm assuming that were
It was
destroyed.
a broken window.
Okay.
I think like a brick was thrown through her apartment window, and then her car was also taken in one incident and ended up being impounded. So the 232 is the impound fee.
Impound fee. Okay, I was just curious because that's a very specific number.
Yeah, that's in position 28. The window is position 29.
All right. Other than that, Mr. Walker, do you want to go ahead and put the offer onto the record?
Yes. So the state's going to be requesting in position 27, 12 months to serve, 100 days, credit for time served, 50 days, balance probated, with the conditions of a family violence intervention program, no further contact with the victim, Miss Melissa, I will spell her last name, SCONIERS, and a stay away from the incident location, which was 3000 Stone Hogan Connector in Atlanta, Georgia. On position 28, the offer is 12 months to serve, 100 days, credit for time served, 50 days with the same conditions. Obviously, he will only have to complete FIP one time, but in position 28, there is restitution and amount to the victim for $232. And then for position 29, it is 12 months to serve 100 days, credit for time served 50 days, balance probated with the conditions of a behavioral health evaluation with any necessary treatment, no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the same incident location, and restitution to the victim in the amount of $500. The victim is on the line, Ms. Melissa Sconiers. If she would like to speak, I would like the court to sound for her at the appropriate time.
Miss Melissa, are you laying down, ma'am? We need you to sit all the way. It looks like you're laying down, even if you are. Would you like to make a statement? This is a formal court proceeding. You're not required to make a statement. If you wish to, I will place you under oath. Would you like to make a statement? You will need to unmute and raise your right hand. We would need you to raise your right hand just so I can place you under oath.
It's right.
All right, the screen, we can't really see it, but do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. What would you like to tell the court at this time?
I just really want Mr. Spellers to pay for the damages that he did to my bedroom window. I had to pay $500 for that, and also for getting my car out the impound that he had took from me after he struck me, and he had took my car and stole my car and ran off with my car, and then I kept telling him to bring it back. He never brought it back, and then he had hid it inside the apartment complex, and they had to tow my car.
All right, I appreciate you coming to court and making that statement. Mr. McLean, was that your understanding of the offer as presented by Mr. Walker? And do you so stipulate to factual basis, ID, and venue?
It is our understanding the offer with the addition of filling in the blanks. We were told in the offer sheet that there would be restitution required or requested rather, and we just needed to know the amounts. Mr. Spellers, do you understand the amounts that the state spoke of? Giving a thumbs up. Okay. So, Your Honor, because this is a probated case, I will use the Odyssey address and the Odyssey phone numbers for his contact information. And he will not get out right away, but when he does get out, he needs to go to 132 Mitchell Street, and that will be JCS. So it is our understanding of the terms. We stipulate to factual basis, venue, and ID.
All right, thank you. All right, Mrs. Spellers, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury? All right, I'm gonna need you to actually say yes, though, okay? As we go through these, okay?
Yes.
All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation? Did anyone, excuse me, force you to take a plea today?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No.
And you understand you'll have no further court dates regarding these charges? All right, and you understand that you cannot have any contact with the victim? You'll have to take a family violence course. You will have to pay her restitution for the amount of the impound and for the window. The first amount is $232. The second amount is $500. And you must stay away from that location on Stone Hogan Connector. Do you understand all of that, Mrs. Spellers? All right. As to the charges I previously listed, and each of those cases, how do you plead, Mrs. Spellers? I'm sorry, we need you to speak up. Okay, I accept your guilty plea at this time. Is there anything further, Mr. Walker or Mr. McLean?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Spellers. And to you, Miss Melissa. Take care. That concludes that case. All right, I see a case at ACDC. Can we take that one?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Before you is Ms. Hayward, position number 10.
All right, thank you. Good morning, Ms. Hayward. And can they all come forward and hear their rights?
Yes,
Just for
they
a
can-
moment?
Yes,
They can all hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
Your Honor.
wonderful, wonderful. All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Judge Melanie Williams. Today is June the 27th, 2023, and this is State All-Purpose Calendar. You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney. This proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch. Ms. Hayward, your case is 23 CR 002773J. You're charged with criminal trespass and battery family violence with the offense date of May the 3rd. Do you understand your rights and how I'm conducting the hearing today?
Yes.
All right, and what is the announcement, Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, this will be my case, and
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Dotis. What is the announcement?
this will be a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Okay, wonderful. Ms. Bickerstaff, if you would put the offer onto the record.
Yes, Your Honor. So the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve 110 days. Credit for time served 55 days, balance probated to an FVIB course, and to stay away from 311 Scott Street and no further contact with the victim in this case.
And the victim's name?
I'm gonna get it. I put the wrong name down in my notes. 1 second. Okay, this would not be working right now. One second, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
That's fine. In the meantime, Mr. Douglas, do you stipulate the factual basis, ID, and venue? And was that your understanding of the offer?
We do stipulate to the three elements. That's our understanding of the offer. The stay away address was where my client was residing, so we would need a one-time sheriff's escort so that she can retrieve her property. I would also ask Ms. Bickerstaff if if the ASG's office has reached out to or has any word from the complaining witness to see if she'd be okay with no further violent contact, as this is my client's mother. We would, in the interest of reconciling the family, would ask for no further violent contact.
Is there any indication that the office has spoken with her mom?
Our office. Well, we told her about the Zoom hearing, but that is all the contact that we've made with her. So because we don't know exactly where her mom stands on this, we're still gonna go with no further contact.
Does she still want to take the plea?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe we went over all options and she did want to go forward with the negotiated plea. Is that still correct, Ms. Hayward?
All right.
Right, we
she's
would need
saying that.
one sheriff's escort so that she can retrieve her property though.
All right. And I'm sorry, did we ever find the victim's name?
I'm getting it. I'm sorry. My Wi-Fi has been going crazy this morning. Yes, well, her name is Judine Hayward.
Can you spell Judine?
Yes, it's Judine Hayward.
All right. Ms. Hayward, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today for the very limited purpose of taking a plea will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury? Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, ma'am.
And you understand you'll have no further court dates regarding this case if you take a plea?
Yes.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
And you understand that taking a plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment?
Yes.
All right, and you should not have any additional time to serve at the Fulton County Jail. However, you cannot have any contact with Ms. Haywood. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And you'll need to stay away from that location. Did I miss any other requirements, Ms. Bickerstaff? Oh, did I, Ms. Bickerstaff?
I think she's froze.
She's frozen. Was there an FFIP? Did I write that down? No?
For this charge, yes, there should be. For position 10?
Yes.
There's a FBIP course.
Okay, and she needs to complete the FVIP course. You understand that as well?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as to the charges, I've previously listed criminal trespass and battery family violence. How do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything further from state or defense?
I just want to clarify that we did reach out to the victim, and the victim, who is the defendant's mother, stated that she does not want to have contact. So that was the basis for that.
Okay, well, we went with that anyway. All right. All right.
Were you granting the one time for her to return with law
Yes,
enforcement?
she can return one time with a member of law enforcement to get any items.
And my apologies, Your Honor. We would also request if Ms. Hayward could switch to non-reporting status upon completion of the effort, could waive a few months of her probation to help her get back on her feet. She will need to find a new place to live, and she has lost her job after being in custody. So we would ask this court to help her out while she lands on her feet.
All right, I will waive 3 months of fees, and after she's completed the requirements, she can go non-reporting. All right? All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Hayward. Who do we have next?
Next, we have position number 14 is Carol Johnson. Position 14, Carol Johnson.
Okay. Let's see, I'm sorry, I was on the add-on calendar. All right, good morning, Ms. Johnson. Your case is 23 CR 0037553F. You're charged with false report of a crime. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. The announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, we'll be entering a plea of not guilty and requesting to address bond.
All right, do you intend to enter a formal waiver of arraignment?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll file a waiver as soon as I leave the courtroom.
All right, sounds wonderful. All right, if the state could give me their position regarding her bond.
I believe this is Mr. Eggers' case. Is it position 14?
It is.
Sorry, Your Honor. Yes, the state has brought a charge of false reporting of a crime. We believe the $2,500 surety bond is appropriate. Ms. Johnson called authorities and falsely reported that the victim, Mark Haywood, was abusing his children. They had been co-workers at Georgia Tech for approximately 3 years and had disagreements. This occurred May 18th of this year. The report triggered a full investigation by Child Protective Services in the victim's home. Mr. Haywood stated that his complaint put him in fear of losing his family. The CPS case manager, Shalisa Jackson, conducted the investigation and found no evidence to support the complaint that was filed. Mr. Haywood stated his family was now fearful of what Ms. Johnson may do next.
Okay, hold 1 second. Ms. Strong, will you check your chat? I hope I chatted you. I may have chatted Ms. Grace by mistake. All right, do you have the history, Mr. Eggers?
Yes, 8 cycles, 3 in Georgia, 8 in Kansas. There are convictions for 2 disorderly conducts, an obstruction, and then a no car insurance and a speeding.
Okay. And how long has she currently been booked in on this charge?
15 days, Your Honor.
15 days. Were there any FTAs in her history? I didn't hear any.
I did not see any, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Dotis?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Johnson is 45 years old and has been in custody for the past 15 days on a $2,500 surety bond, which she is unable to afford. For these reasons, we are requesting a signature bond. As we heard from the state, there's no history of FTAs or VOPs. I didn't hear dates on the previous cycles or but we could correct that. I do have good contact information for Ms. Johnson. She has been an Atlanta resident for the past 30 years. She has a good address in Decatur, Georgia. I'm happy to provide that address in the chat if it is not updated on Odyssey. She's a high school graduate from Oklahoma, where she also attended Wichita State University. She currently works for Georgia Tech University. Regarding this case, she does maintain her innocence regarding the charges brought against her, but she does understand that if she is released, she needs to have no further contact with the alleged victim, as well as his family. And she also, I mentioned that it's not clear if she has a job waiting for her with Georgia Tech, as the complaining witness did work at the same location. So she's clear that she does need to check with her supervisor before returning to work to see if she's able to do that. She has been in custody for the past 15 days, and she is in danger of losing her apartment and missing her car payments. So we would ask for a signature bond to make sure that she's able to keep her apartment, and she's clear on that this does not resolve her case, and she will have to report to any and all future court dates.
All right. What were the conditions other than no further contact? Was there any stay away or anything else that applies to the bond as it currently is set?
Your Honor, I'll let the state speak to that. I'm trying to look up to see if there's anything in the original bond.
Ms.
It was-
Strong, what is
It was
it?
a no further contact with Mario Haywood and stay away from all Georgia Tech property.
I know you will. I know you will.
Okay, if she's still employed there.
So when she was in court on that day, because I was in there, Judge Law basically said, now, I mean, she kept stating that she was employed by Georgia Tech, but she kept telling her that she could not return regardless.
regardless of her employment.
Right.
Okay. And I'm sorry, Mr. Edwards, can you give me the allegations again as it pertains to Georgia Tech?
Yes, they're coworkers at same department at Georgia Tech. The allegation is that on May 18th, Ms. Johnson called Child Protective Services
Okay.
and stated that he was abusing his children.
Okay. All right, the special conditions will remain as set. But I will convert the $2,500 surety to a $5,000 signature bond. Is anyone from pretrial services online?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm gonna send this through pretrial services for judge. What is the one where she has to report twice a month? What level is that?
Level 2. So
All
she'll
right.
do a monthly. So for level 2, it's a monthly like phone or virtual report, and then one face-to-face.
All right, so we'll convert it with a level 2 method of reporting. All right, all other conditions shall remain as set by Judge Law. All right, anything further from state or defense?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Nothing further.
All right, that concludes this case at this time.
Your Honor, can we do position 26, Ms. Shackelford? I have a 10 o'clock court. I
Yes,
need you to attend.
yes,
Thank
I
you.
will hurry. All right, thank you.
Oh, no,
I'm-
you good.
All right. Ms. Shackelford, your case is, if I could just get to it. It's 19 CR 0077797C. You're charged with reckless conduct and dog at large with the offense date of November the 10th of 2018. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and the announcement?
Attorney McLean is walking over, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we met with Ms. Shackelford at the ACDC yesterday, but at that point in time, we didn't have an offer. She told me that she believed this case had been dismissed. The lawyer she used at the time, that she was in the magistrate court when she believed it was dismissed, was last name Rowe, R-O-W-E, first name Anton. So we're trying to get hold of that attorney to see if he has a file, to see if he's got a record of it, of any kind of deal being made or what the understanding is. This comes from the year, is it from 2018, I believe?
Yes, it does.
So if we have some other positions, we will try to get hold, we're looking up that number.
We don't have any other, we would probably need to take this case now as the South Annex needs to depart. So the announcement is that we don't have an offer yet.
No, we've conveyed an offer. No, I'm sorry. I'll take that back. We've received an offer from the state today here. I have not yet conveyed that to her by phone where she is. So I'll get on the phone with her and tell her about the offer at the same time that we're trying to get hold of the attorney that she used
Okay.
to magistrate
Let's
court.
do that very quickly because ACD go elsewhere. Can we, Ms. McLean, can you go ahead and make that call now?
It is.
Can we go to positions 3 and 4?
Okay. Do y'all want to call me or do you want me to call you?
We'll come right back. Is that the last position at South Annex? I'm gonna assume so, and we'll go to positions 3 and 4, and Mr. McLean will give the South Annex a call. Are 3 and 4 Mr. McLean's positions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Charlie, your case is 22 CR 0077713F. In that case, you're charged with criminal trespass and damage to property as well as battery family violence. And the second case, I believe, is an FTA. Do you understand your rights? Oh, you haven't heard your rights. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney today. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
Additionally, I'm conducting this hearing over the internet. That means any member of the public can watch it. Do you understand how I'm conducting the hearing? All right, I'm assuming that's a yes. Mr. Dotis, what is your announcement?
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll be waiving arraignment on position 3 and entering a plea of not guilty. For position 4, this isn't what's holding him. So we would just ask for the FTA to be returned to the division judge.
Okay, so are you waiving formal arraignment or are you asking me to arraign him at this time?
Your Honor, I'm waiving formal arraignment and I'll submit a waiver.
Okay, so at this time, sir, your case will be reset for the notice to a division judge for further adjudication, okay? Your attorney will give you a call and explain that further, but at this time, your hearing is concluded. Best of luck to you.
So can we go to position 30 through 32? Mr. Stinchcomb.
We already did that one, didn't we? No?
No,
So,
Okay,
that was the wrong position at first.
okay. Oh, this is Mr. Stinchcomb.
Yes.
All right, is he present? Was Mr. Stinchcomb present? All right, Mr. Stinchcomb, your case numbers are 23 CR 001190J, 23 CR 001193J, and the 23 CR 001194J. In each of these cases, you're charged with theft by shoplifting. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and the announcement? Is this Mr. Dotis or Mr.
Oh,
McLean?
like it.
Mr. McLean.
Oh, that was not good. Mr. McLean, are you ready to go forward on positions 30 through 32?
Is that? Yes, Your Honor, those are not guilties.
Okay, do you wish for him to be arraigned at this time?
We
Or do
wait
you-
for formal reading of each accusation. We have a copy. And if the court would just remind him that he has to keep up his court dates and what the maximum punishment is, I think that'll accomplish it.
Okay, I'll say that very quickly. Mr. Stinchcomb, I've just read each of your cases. At this time, we're gonna formally arraign your case, which means that your cases will be reset for trial. At that trial, you will have the right to an attorney, just as you've had today, and the state will bear the burden to prove those charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. If they do so, you can face a sentence of up to 1 year in prison or a fine of $1,000 for each charge. Based upon the information that I presented to you today, do you plead not guilty as your attorney has advised me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I accept your not guilty plea. Your case will be so reset. All right, further note. All right, best of luck to you, sir. All right, can we go back to the South Annex position? Are we ready for that one?
I need Mr. Walker or whoever has that case for the state to give me a buzz on extension 2-2392. And I would ask the South Annex to hang up for a few minutes, allow the state to call me, and then they should call me back as soon as I'm through with that. Thank you.
Can we do position number 9, pro se?
He's pro se.
Yes, ma'am, that's what I received.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
And Your Honor, I did meet with Mr. Edwards, and if he wants to have a discussion, I'm happy to have that with him.
I would hope so. Okay, Mr. Edwards, your case is 23 CR 003778J. In this case, you're charged with criminal trespass. Do you understand your rights you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney at this proceeding. This proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right. And you wish to represent yourself today instead of having the services of the public defender's office?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand, do you feel that you have a sufficient bearing on the law today, such that you are competent to represent yourself?
I feel completely competent, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you wish to take a plea today?
If that's what I need to do, yes.
And you don't want to have Mr. Dotis just speak with you and guide you through taking a plea?
If that's the public defender I spoke with, no, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Bickerstaff, will you put the offer onto the record?
Yes, the state's offer is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance suspended, and to stay away from 7010 Peachtree Dunwoody Road in Sandy Springs.
Okay. So, Mr. Edwards, are we going to be able, at 4 North, if he's not represented by counsel, is he going to be able to get plea paperwork signed and completed?
Me, I have to bring it back up here to him.
Okay, and you understand you're going to have to complete that paperwork fully by yourself. And if it's done incorrectly, Mr. Edwards, without the assistance of counsel, you may not get out in a timely manner. Are you sure that you're declining Mr. Dotis's assistance?
If there's gonna be paperwork involved that I might not understand, I might need some help.
I think so. I think that would be to your advantage. Do you need to speak with Mr. Dotis before we go forward?
If there's anything different than what we said yesterday, yes, I'll speak with him again.
Is there anything further or different, Mr. Dotis?
I would like to have a conversation.
Okay, is it possible, there's probably no phone, so, Mr. Dotis, are you in courtroom 2 alone?
Yes, I'm in court too. Alone.
Okay, do you have your laptop, Mr. Dotis, so we can put you in a breakout?
Yeah, you can do a breakout with my laptop just in case I need to go mobile. You're
Right, and in case that, Mr. McLean returns. Okay, so can we put not courtroom 2, but Mr. Dotis's laptop in the breakout with 4 North as soon as he logs in?
Okay. Okay, Judge.
Thank you. All right, and are we ready for that South End expedition? All right, are we ready for the South End exposition or no? Mr. McLean, is he gone? Okay, what about the position at Alpharetta Jail? What position number is that?
Your Honor, Mr. McLean is not ready?
I don't see him. Mr. McLean, are you there? Okay, there he is. Are we ready on the South End exposition?
You're on mute, Mr. McLean.
I have a modification on the offer from the state, which I need to convey to her. If she can call me again at 404-612-2392, I will convey that modification. I've left a message with the attorney I mentioned. I don't think we're going to hear back from him. So if they can call 2392, I think we'll resolve it. Thank you.
All right, we'll be on a very brief hold.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, is Mr. Dotis back? Are we ready to go for it with the plea? You're both muted.
Are you speaking for position 9, Mr. Edwards, Your Honor?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke with Mr. Edwards. It's not his intention to enter a plea today, is my understanding, but he does want to continue representing himself, which he has the right to do.
All right, you do not wish to take a plea at this time? Mr. Dotis, I understand he wants to represent himself. Did he indicate to you what he wished to do?
Your Honor, he wished to address bond. He's asking for a
Okay.
signature bond. I've been unable to speak with him on anything, and he indicated he wanted to try and handle it himself.
Okay, so I will arraign your case at this time. Let's see. My Odyssey is not working. Mr. Edwards in 23 CR 003778J, you're formally charged with criminal trespass, which has been accused by the Solicitor General's office. At this time, your case will be reset for a jury trial. And the division judge to whom the case is actually assigned will manage that case. You will have the right to an attorney or right to represent yourself, just as you've had today. If they get a conviction against you after the state has proved the charge beyond a reasonable doubt, you could face a fine of up to $1,000 or up to a sentence of up to 1 year in prison. Let me try to read his formal accusation. Ms. Strong, I may need your help. My Odyssey is very glitchy here. If you think you could send me the accusation to read to him, I will still try to get in here. Yeah, I can't get in Odyssey for some reason.
I'm sending it to you now.
Thank you. And I don't know why I can't get in. It lets me in sometimes and other times it does not. All right, Mr. Edwards, please hold. I'm going to read the formal charge against you signed by the solicitor's office, okay? While I'm waiting for the accusation to come through, Ms. Bickerstaff, if you would give me the state's position regarding a bond.
Okay, yes, Your Honor. 1 second, let me get this. I have you on my phone and this because my Wi-Fi is glitchy. Where's the thing? Okay, Your Honor, this incident occurred June 12th of this year at the North Springs MARTA station. It's at 7010 Peachtree, Dunwoody Road, and this is where the defendant remained on the bus after refusing to leave when told to do so by an arresting officer. So for these reasons, the state's bond on this case was a $1,000 surety bond, and the state believes that is more than reasonable, and we would like to keep it there, as well as a stay away from the incident location.
All right, and nothing about no, would he be fully restricted from MARTA?
If he would need to comply with all MARTA suspensions, if there are any, yeah.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Edwards, I'm now going to read the formal accusation. Give me 1 second. Okay, Mr. Edwards, in case 23 CR 003778J, it reads as follows. I, Keith E. Damage, Solicitor General for the County of Fulton, State of Georgia, in the name and on behalf of the citizens of Georgia, do hereby charge and accuse Alton Keith Edwards with the offense of criminal trespass, a misdemeanor. For that said, accused in the county of Fulton, state of Georgia, on or about June 12th, did knowingly and without authority remain upon the property of North Springs MARTA, located at 70110 Peachtree Dunwoody Road in Sandy Springs, after receiving notice to depart from the owner and the authorized representative of the owner in violation of OCGA Section 16-7-21, contrary to the laws of the state, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. Signed, Solicitor General. Understand that?
I do.
I formally charged your case. Do you plead not guilty at this time?
I do.
All right. Now your case has been arraigned. Ms. Bickerstaff, what was the history?
I have 13 cycles for the defendant. Most recently, I have a theft by shoplifting conviction from 2020, an FTA in 2016, a probation violation in 2022, and 2 older cases that are more than 20 years old. If pretrial has anything else,
Yes,
my phone pretrial.
can I have the history, please?
It appears the defendant has 11 arrest cycles in Georgia beginning in 1988. He has 1 misdemeanor outside of the 10-year period for DUI, purchase, possession, control. I'm sorry. Yeah, purchase, possession of controlled substance. 2 counts of the DUI. Let's see. Violation of probation, an additional misdemeanor within 10 years for theft by shoplifting. And that was out of Johns Creek. Disposition date on that is September of 2016. And it appears he has an open case with Cedartown, Georgia State Patrol for fleeing or attempting to elude police officer, DUI, and aggressive driving. There's no disposition listed on the GCIC. Let's see, there's another case with Cedartown, Georgia State Patrol. Let's see. I'm sorry, I apologize. Those are the same one. It's just listed twice. He has another case with Hall County for a DUI. It appears to be open. Arrest date on that was February 23rd of 2023 out of Hall County. There's no disposition listed. And his last arrest was March 8th of 2023 in Hall County for willful obstruction of law enforcement officer misdemeanor. And he has another arrest from 96, this Georgia State Patrol.
Okay.
Nothing to add, Your Honor.
That's good, thank you. Mr. Edwards, do you have a stable address?
I do.
You do?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna convert his $1,000 surety bond to a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial per judge with the same condition. All right?
What level, Your Honor? He's recommended for level 3 if released.
We'll do level 3. Thank you. And that, how often do you report on level 3?
So on level 3, he's gonna do a virtual weekly report and a face-to-face one-to-one.
That's fine. That sounds good. Thank you. All right, that concludes your case, Mr. Edwards. All right, who do we have next?
What was the amount? I'm sorry, what was the amount again?
1,000. I just converted the case as it was.
Okay,
thank you.
23 and 24.
All right.
Mr. Peterson.
All right, thank you. And has Mr. Peterson heard his rights?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Your case is 21 CR 004038F. You're charged with theft by shoplifting, and the second case is an FTA. Do you understand your rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And the announcement for this case?
Ma'am.
Who? Not you. Is it Mr. McLean? You're muted at courtroom 2 if it is.
That will be a negotiated plea on the shoplifting and an all-cross on the FTA.
All right. Mr. Walker, is this your case?
Yes, for position 23, the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 46 days credit for time served 23 days, balance probated with the conditions of a theft course and a stay away from the incident location, 844 Cleveland Avenue.
Is that the Walmart?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We get enough cases that you start to learn the addresses. All right, Mr. McLean, do you stipulate the factual basis, ID, and venue, or was that your understanding of the offer?
We do so stipulate to all the elements, and Your Honor, we do understand that to be the offer.
All right, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, no, Your Honor.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, no, Your Honor.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, 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 Your Honor.
And you understand that taking the plea, it may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment or immigration or things we might not be able to anticipate.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that by taking the plea, you're gonna not have any further court dates regarding these charges.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that you have to take a theft course and you cannot go back to that Walmart on Cleveland Avenue.
Yes, ma'am. I do understand.
All right, as to the charge of theft by shoplifting, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
All right, I accept your guilty plea at this time. Anything further, Mr. Walker, Mr. McLean?
No, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your hearing at this time. All right, who do we have next?
Your Honor, with regard to Ms. Shackelford, she's telling me.
Oh,
she-
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
There's a trespass case. I told her, I said, you can plead this way or that way, and there's a bond hearing available, and she tells me there's a trespass charge. Your Honor, can we put this off 2 days till Thursday, and I can look that up and find out if there's something we could put on the calendar?
Thursday's calendar might be full. Ms. Strong, can you advise as to whether this case can be reset to Thursday? She's shaking her head no. It
No,
will have
sir.
a longer reset.
No, sir. And with the way things are looking for Tuesday, it would, yeah, not until the 11th is when we are able to reset out.
She's being held on a felony, so I don't think it will be prejudicial for her to
I
reset
agree.
early.
I was just looking at that. Okay,
So
so we,
reset it for the 11th.
yes, we'll reset the case July 11th. State of purpose.
July 11th.
Yes. And she does have bond on this case.
She's not
I
being
mean-
held on this case.
Yeah, that's true, but still. All right. We'll reset July 11th.
Thank you.
All right.
I have Mr. Durham.
Okay.
Your Honor, as a quick announcement, if I could please be placed in a breakout room with Alpharetta Jail. I believe that's Ms. Jenkins that I need to speak with.
Okay. That's fine. Can you use the laptop, Mr. Dudley?
Yes, Your Honor, while they take the other positions.
Okay. All right.
If I could just speak to Mr. Durham briefly, there's been a little bit of change in the offer.
Okay. Can we put Ms. Snyder in a breakout with Ford North?
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, you're muted, Ms. Snyder. I couldn't hear you.
It will be a negotiated plea on all of his positions.
Okay, Mr. Durham, you have 3 cases. Your cases are 22 CR 0000676Y, in which you're charged with simple battery family violence. 22 CR 0000679Y. Is that the same? Okay, I think that's different slightly. Driving while your license was suspended, and then the other one is an FTA. You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can only be against you. You also have the right to an attorney today, and Ms. Snyder is here to represent you. I'm conducting this hearing over the internet. That means any member of the public can watch this. It's also being recorded. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Bickerstaff, if you put the offer onto the record.
Yeah, so for position 6, the state offers 12 months to serve, 99 days, credit for time served, 99 days, balance probated to an FVIB course, no further contact with Ms. Torres, and to stay away from 880 Briarcliff Terrace, Apartment 5. For position 7, it will also be 12 months to serve, 99 days, credit for time served, 99 days, balance suspended. And then position 8 will no process.
No process here. Okay, just and verifying again, he did serve the 99 days on each of those charges?
I believe so, Your Honor. Let me double check, but
please check. I don't want to, what will happen is the jail will see it and want him to actually serve the 99 days if it wasn't booked in on that charge. And while you're checking that, let's ask some questions. Ms. Snyder, do you stipulate the factual basis, ID, and venue?
We do.
Okay. All right. Will you please raise your hand, sir, so I can ask you some questions, Mr. Durham? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today for the purpose of taking a plea will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Are you satisfied with Ms. Snyder's representation?
Yes.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea today?
No.
Did anyone force you to take a plea?
No.
Do you understand that by taking a plea, other aspects of your life might be affected, such as employment?
Yes.
You understand that you'll have no further court dates regarding this charge if you take a guilty plea? And you understand you have to take the family violence class, have no contact with Ms. Torres, and stay away from that location on Briarcliff. Otherwise, the time you've served in the Fulton County Jail should close out your case?
Yes.
All right, as to the charges I previously listed, Mr. Durham, how do you plead? How do you plead, Mr. Durham?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Anything further, Ms. Bickerstaff or Ms. Snyder?
Your Honor, I believe that the defendant served 3 days for the driving while suspended license. So if that's the case, we could just make it 6 days to serve 6 days, credit for time served 3 days.
Okay, so let's make sure we do that. And did he serve the 99 days on the other charge?
Yes.
Okay.
His booking screen is showing that he was booked in on the failure to appear, and he's been in for the 99 days. So I would, if we just make it commuted to time served as opposed to credit for time served. Since the FTA is being null-prossed.
The FTA is going to be null-prossed, but right. the practicality of that. So you want it to be credit for time served 3 days?
Yes, for position 8.
Okay.
Position 8, position 7.
I know what you meant. Ms. Snyder, say what you're, help me clarify that again. Instead of the 6 days credit for time served 3 days, you object to that? Because he'll get the 2 for 1 and it still ends up being time served plea.
That's fine. That's what I was trying to do. I just
no, it'll be a time served. There's no additional time. Ms. Strong is coming on. Is there an issue?
Say this is for position number 7, correct?
The license suspended one. It'll be, he's only been booked in it for 3 days. So it's still gonna be time served, but it'll be the 6 days credit for time served, 3 days. With the time served, with the 2-for-1, he will still, it'll still be a time served plea. The other one is 99 days that he's actually served, so he can get credit for the 99 days. And he should not have to serve any additional time on either of the charges. All right, anything further?
Nothing from the state.
All right. Ms. Snyder, does that conclude your business before the court this morning?
It does. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Take care. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good
And
one.
best of luck to you, Mr. Durham. All right, are there other positions we can take, or are we on another pause? Huh. All right, I see that jail court's iPhone. Who do I have there?
Position 21, Mr. Mosley.
And who represents Mr. Mosley?
I'm sorry, the add-on position 7, Mr. Truitt.
Mr. Truitt. Who represents Mr. Truitt?
Mr. McLean.
Mr. McLean, are you ready on add-on 7? You're muted. Mr. McLean, if you're speaking.
I represent myself. No, you have a.
Your Honor, we understand there's a time served stay away offer from the state on that.
All right, and it's a negotiated plea.
That would be a negotiated plea. Is that correct, Mr. Truitt?
Mr. Truitt, is that correct? Or I heard some other indications. Do you wish to
We're not going for that, ma'am.
We're not.
That's not what I'm agreed to, ma'am.
Okay, then we'll do something else then.
No, we're gonna do ma'am, like can I talk to the judge? Let me talk to the judge.
Hold on.
Let me talk to the judge. Let me talk to the judge.
Hold on.
Go ahead. What would you like to say?
Your Honor, this is
Yes, ma'am. Wait, ma'am. We would talk. My name.
Don't tell me too much information because the state is still listening.
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
wish to go forward today?
I can't hear you, ma'am.
Do you want to go forward?
Yes, ma'am. I want to go forward, but I want to explain on my behalf why I'm not taking that plea. If you let me speak on my behalf, ma'am.
I don't advise that. If
He
you don't want-
offered me a signature bond.
Come on.
They don't know I'm trying to take a signature bond.
They can hear you.
No, tell them I want a signature bond. I want a signature bond, ma'am. That's what he came up with, ma'am.
Okay.
He said a signature bond, not go forward with the case.
Okay, we'll see.
It's my first time in this system, ma'am. A
Okay,
signature bond.
we understand that you would like a signature bond. What is his current, so let's go back, Mr. McLean. He does not want to take the plea today.
Correct.
He does not want it to be time served. So what we will do is we'll arraign his case. So at this time, sir, what I need you to do is tell me that you're going to plead not guilty, all right? We've read your case number into the record. Mr. Truitt, you're charged with giving false information and giving a false name on the 6th of June. These cases have been formally charged by the Solicitor General's office. Mr. McLean, do you waive a formal reading of the accusation?
With his permission, I can read a waive a formal reading. Mr. Truitt, it's okay if we waive the formal reading?
Can we waive the formal reading of your accusation?
Can they waive?
What do that mean, ma'am?
That we would have to read exactly what you have been charged with, but I think you're aware of your charges. However, you have the right for me to read the entire long thing that the solicitor has charged you with. Would you like to hear that? Or are you familiar with what you're charged with here today?
Ma'am, I just wanted to speak on my behalf of what's been going on. My attorney, they haven't been talking to me lately.
No. Before we get
Question that's
answer that question, and then I'll let you say some other things to me later. Would you like to? Okay. So now at this time, your case will be formally reset and assigned to the state court judge who will handle your trial. At trial, You'll have a right to an attorney, just as you've had today. And the state will bear the burden of proof to prove the charges against you. If they do, you can face a sentence of up to 1 year in prison or a fine of $1,000 for each charge, and those can run concurrently or consecutively. Based upon this information, Mr. Short, do you plead not guilty to the charge?
I want to know how many charges do I have? I'm not
You
aware of how
have
many
two,
charges.
you have
Huh?
two charges at this time.
What's
You
the
have,
name?
I just read them to you. I'll read them again. You have a charge for giving false information to a law enforcement officer, and a second charge for giving false name, address, or a birth date to a law enforcement officer. So those are two separate charges that are currently pending before you at this time. And do you wish to plead not guilty based upon the information I've given you?
Yes, ma'am, I plead not guilty.
Okay, I accept your not guilty plea, and I understand that you wish for us to reconsider your bond. Mr. Walker, what is his current bond?
He has a $500 surety bond.
He has a
And I'm
$500 surety bond.
Yes,
What,
it's two.
Yes,
okay.
$50 or $100.
And he has not been able to make that $500 bond, Mr. McLean?
That's correct, Your Honor. He has not been able to make that.
Has he have other holds?
He has a CP case, Your Honor, that says on the booking sheet, no bond.
Okay, so you have another case that's currently holding you in the Fulton County Jail. So even if I give you a signature bond today, Mr. Durham, you understand that you will not be released? Okay, can we?
Ma'am, if you talking about probation,
Slow down.
could you
No,
tell
no,
him
no.
to
Let's take a deep breath. I want to hear from you, but I don't want you to say things that will affect you. If I give you a signature bond today, you will still not be released from the Fulton County Jail. Do you understand that?
No, ma'am, because I need to explain it to you about, I've been working on the signature bond, I've been working on the criminal trespass. The attorney in that courtroom already need to hear this so he can go and put me on for release, going to speed that paperwork up. They already talked to them. So
Okay,
if you tell
I
this attorney,
can't,
tell that
I
attorney
can't,
that,
the other case that's holding you in, there's nothing I can do about that case. This is
Yes,
the
ma'am.
only case before me. And if even if I change it and give you a signature bond, you will not be released. You understand that?
no, I'm trying to ask you, when you give me the signature bond, could you let him know to call the attorney in probation? Because I already talked to him. All he need to do is be aware of the speed the release case up, and they were gonna give me 30 days or anything that so he'll know I ain't plea out and violate the probation. So he'll know to let it go.
Your Honor, if I may be heard, certainly.
Yes, please.
The case, we will endeavor to communicate with whoever is going to represent him on the CP case and encourage them to keep things current.
Okay. But you understand though, that you have no bond in the other case?
Is it probation?
Not from what I'm hearing, it's not.
Well, the case, I don't have no other cases in here, man. It's my first time having a case in Fulton County. I've been in Alpharetta. That's my first case. What's going on with it? Where it come from?
History, please.
Yes, I was gonna suggest that. Somebody give me the history.
He's on
Miss-
felony probation, so this is not his first case.
He's distinguishing Alpharetta from the Fulton County, which is, I understand, but not quite accurate. Ms. Tyson, if you would give us that history.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Truitt has 36 arrest cycles beginning in 2004. His last arrest was for a violation of probation out of Fulton County. Within the last 10 years, he does have a felony conviction out of Cobb County for possession of cocaine. Disposition date on that is March of 2015. He has a misdemeanor conviction out of Fulton County for criminal trespass. Disposition date is June of 2015. He has another, let's see, criminal trespass and giving false name, address, or birth date to law enforcement officer out of Clayton County. Disposition date on that is June of 2020.
Okay.
C has another
Are you
criminal
able to see-
trespass. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. What are his current open cases? Are you able to see that? That's what we critically need.
Let's see. He does have a probation hold
Okay.
listed on his jailing.
Is that the same as the CP case to which he's?
No, it's not. No, it's different. It's
And then
different.
there's also a CP case holding him in with no bond.
I don't see a CP case on an
I
open
don't
one at
either.
least.
I just
I
see the
don't see an
probation
open
case.
CP. I just see the probation hold.
Okay.
Yeah, I just see the probation hold. I don't see an open CP case on here.
Okay.
Okay, mine could be out of date.
Okay. That's
In this
fine.
case, Your Honor, Roswell PD was dispatched to North Fulton Hospital. They were advised by the nursing staff that the defendant was in the bathroom, locked himself in and was smoking crack cocaine. Law enforcement was able to finally gain access to the bathroom. The defendant had flushed the drugs down the toilet. He then proceeded to give the law enforcement officers the false name of Brandon Smith and the false date of birth of 1986. Obviously, that is not the defendant's name nor date of birth. At that time, he was arrested for those two charges. He has a history of giving false name. He has a history of criminal trespass. He has a felony probation hold with no bond. The state feels as though a $500 surety bond for these two charges are more than reasonable.
Okay. All right. And Mr. McLean, since I'm
Right,
there's
we're,
a hybrid representation here, I'm sure.
we are in touch with his family and, Your Honor, we'll certainly make sure that we continue the referral for MH.
All right. And the bond will remain as set at this time. All right.
Ma'am,
Yes.
you know about that false information? I have commissary order that I ordered. I know as far as I'm in mental health and medical, but I'm medical. I got my second order and I got this big.
We probably ought to go to mute at this point, Your Honor.
And
I agree.
Is counsel gonna be filing evaluation?
Yes.
It seems like that might be necessary. Okay, that concludes his hearing. The bond will remain as set with additional evaluation.
Do we need to reset it to a competency calendar since the evaluation order is gonna be filed?
We'll file that evaluation request.
Yeah, I'm just saying the calendar we reset it to.
We arranged and reset for the notice.
But typically
They'll
when they're in
jury.
custody and an evaluation is filed, we set them to the competency calendar. So we don't
Make
lose
sure,
them.
so we check on it. Okay.
Whatever course is available.
We could, but technically I've set him on the division judge path at this point. We can, let's reset, state our purpose, end of the month, just to check in on him. To see if we've at least gotten the evaluation done. Can we reset him to July 27th, Ms. Strong?
Actually, Your Honor, I agree with Mr. Walker. The competency calendar might be the best place.
Well, that's where we're putting him.
Okay.
No, it would be the 29th.
I apologize, July 29th.
Wait, the 29th is.
Oh,
July.
okay, I'm sorry. Am I looking at the wrong month?
I thought the
29th is a Saturday.
I apologize. It's the
Okay,
26th.
the 27th.
I'm sorry. It's 27.
Okay, so
No,
July.
Thursday is the 29th for June or July?
July.
Wait, no.
Okay, is that too long, Mr. McLean? Is that what you're saying?
The 27th is fine. It'll give it ample amount of time for whatever paperwork he's submitting to come back. So it'll be reset for July the 27th.
July
Correct.
27th.
And that's the competency calendar at 11.
Yes, yes.
Competency calendar. Thank you.
Okay, okay. All right. Are we ready for the position at Alpharetta Jail?
Yes, Your Honor, and this is gonna be position 12.
Okay,
And this will be a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
all right. All right. Ms. Jenkins, your case 23 CR 003750Y. In this case, you're charged with battery. Do you understand your rights? Is that a yes? I think she's muted. Can we turn that, we can't hear at the Alpharetta Jail.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, and Mr. Eggers, will you please put the offer onto the record?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is recommending that the defendant served 12 months, 32 days confinement, credit for time served of 16 days, balance probated, and no further contact with the victim, Frida Coakley, and then also a 6-week anger management course.
Was that your understanding, Mr. Douglas? And do you stipulate to factual basis, ID, and venue in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, that's our understanding, and we do so stipulate for the purpose of this plea to the 3 necessary elements. We would also request to switch Ms. Jenkins to non-reporting status upon completion of anger management. She has a stable address and communication methods that she gave to me that I'll pass on to probation, but she doesn't currently have a job, so I would ask if this court could waive a few months of her probation to help her get back on her feet and do what she needs to do for probation.
All right, Ms. Jenkins, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm, please, yes, please, do you swear and affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No.
And you understand you'll have no further court dates regarding this charge if you take a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove this charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
And you further understand that it may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment or immigration?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the requirements that you have to take the 6 weeks of anger management. You have to have no contact with the victim. And I'm sorry, Mr. Eggers, was there additional jail time or no?
Yes, an additional 16 days. 16
Was
days.
that-
confinement.
Your
That
Honor,
was your-
the offer was served 32 days, credit for 16 days. So my understanding was it was a time served offer since jail time calculates it as a 2-for-1.
Okay, that was what I wanted to understand. Was that your understanding, Mr. Eggers? Is that the offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I just wanted to verify. So you will not have any additional time to serve at the Fulton County Jail. You understand all the requirements as explained previously and by your attorney?
Yes, y'all just scared me though.
Okay, yes, no additional time to serve. All right, as to the charge of battery, Ms. Jenkins, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. You can go non-reporting to probation once you've completed the anger management course, and I will waive 1 month of fees to get you started, all right?
Thank you.
All right. Best of luck. Anything further, Mr. Eggers or Mr. Douglas?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. Is it another position we can take?
Well, Your Honor, my apologies. I forgot to ask, did you rule on non-reporting status?
Yes. she
Okay.
can get non-reporting once completed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Are there no other positions? We have not completed the entire calendar, have we?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I'm happy to go over the calendar while we have a moment.
Oh, Ms. Strong, are we missing any positions to your knowledge? Let's
I
see.
think we did 26.
Give me a moment. I'm looking over the.
I really appreciate you coming to
Okay.
Your
I don't
Honor, position 21. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Position 21 has to be a reset. He wouldn't come out of his cell. He wouldn't say. So I'm not sure.
Your
Okay,
Honor,
I had hope for announcement anyway, Mr.
I'll
Douglas.
let Attorney McLean handle that.
Okay, Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, at this point, we're definitely going to need to do an eval. We're going to just submit an eval because every time for several weeks that I come to visit, I wait and I'm told by the deputies that the person will not come out to visit into the visitation booth area. And therefore, Your Honor, I've never seen him, never laid eyes on him, but I think at this point, based on what I've been told, that I think an MH evaluation request is necessary.
All right, that's fine. What we can do is, will you submit a formal waiver of arraignment as well, Mr. McLean? And then what we'll do is we'll put him on that same competency calendar that we set the last position. I believe it was July the 27th, just to check.
Right, we'll do the competency calendar and do the evaluation, but I don't think it'd be appropriate for us to do a waiver of his arraignment yet.
I don't want the case to sit too long unarraigned.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll let it go to competency calendar. And Ms. Strong, please note that the case has not been arraigned. All right, are there other positions? I believe we finished the add-on calendar because I saw the announcements there.
So for the ones that have 1 week reset, they're gonna have to go to the 11th.
Okay. The other days are full.
That will be next week. And after we come back from the 4th of July, and there is no court on the 4th. So everything will be, so we can't do the 6th.
Okay, that's fine. We'll put them all to the 11th. All right. Are there other positions we're holding on? We're holding on 20, did we do 24 and 25? Is there an announcement for that I didn't see? I had 24 was, I'm sorry, 25 was negotiated. We didn't do 25, did we? I don't think so.
No, or 26, I don't believe.
I have that we did 26, is that wrong?
Well, she came, but did we go through with the plea or what was the outcome?
26, she's being reset, is what I have.
My understanding is 25 was shipped and is no longer in this building or no longer in this system.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Right, where is 20? Where is the person?
25 had a parole hold and has gone to the state system.
Okay.
Okay, what happens to this case?
So I interviewed him yesterday, but apparently they took him in between my interview yesterday afternoon and now. So I expected to represent him this morning, but I've been told he's gone.
Okay. Is he?
Oftentimes say released, but of course he's not released to freedom. He's just
Right, he's just, yeah. So I guess reset for the notice.
right. Perhaps we can write him a letter advising him of the detainer procedure.
Okay.
So we don't have a reset further notice.
It would be just as if it got released, essentially.
So you wanted me to send it back to the division judge?
Right, that's what we have. That's the only option we have. It would be a different bond in theory.
I apologize. I was confused, like reset, like we're holding SAP. That's what I was
Yeah, I
thinking.
don't think he's being held on this charge, so it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
He's being held on a felony in the parole hold.
And this was 25.
25. And 26, did we reset it? I wrote down reset, but I don't know if that is.
So I extended a modified offer, and I thought we were waiting to.
Right, but we went ahead and reset it because of the other case.
She had some other attorney or something.
Oh, the criminal trespass that she thought she had.
Or
So
some
we
other.
reset it for the 11th?
We reset that for the 11th because she needed to speak with her other attorney regarding her other cases.
I think we'll be ready on the 11th to go forward with the modified offer.
Okay. What other positions are we holding on? So we're no longer voting on 25 or 26. Is that the entire all-purpose calendar? It cannot be.
On the calendar.
Okay, we can review it. We didn't do, it. Was there an announcement for 13?
That's what I was about to ask. Did I miss 13?
Your Honor, position 13 was a waiver of presence and arraignment and entering a plea of not guilty.
Okay, thank you. And I'm assuming no need to be heard on, well, defendant's not there, but are you requesting any modification of bond at this time?
No, Your Honor, that bond is moved at this time.
Okay, understood. All right. We can review, I'm just trying to make sure we're not missing a whole lot of positions before I ask Ms. Strong to review. Because that wastes all of our time. 18 and 19 is released. 16 1 week reset. I believe this is the entire calendar. Ms. Strong, do you disagree?
No, ma'am. I was just confirming the released defendants.
I have number 3. We didn't do number 3, but I have that that's going to be a not guilty, and we'll be entering a formal waiver for that. Because we didn't take number 3, did we?
We did, Your Honor. Mr. Charlie?
Okay, we did. All right. All right. I believe we've concluded the entire calendar. Ms. Strong, will you please review?
Sure. Position number 1 and 2 were negotiated pleas. Position number 3 was waived arraignment, reset jail jury. Position number 4 was is being sent back to the division judge with that following case. Position number 5, 6, and 7 were negotiated pleas. Position number 8 was null pros. Position number 9 was arraigned, not guilty, reset jail jury with an amended bond of 1,000 signature bond through pretrial per judge, level 3. Position number 10, 11, 12 were negotiated pleas. Position number 13 was waived arraignment and waived the presence, not guilty, reset jail jury. Position number 14 was not guilty, reset jail jury, an amended bond of $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Position number 15 was a negotiated plea. Position number 16 was the reset for July the 11th. Correct, Ma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
That's what I have.
Okay, thank you.
position as the add-on 5 and 6.
Right, okay, thank you. Position number 17 was a negotiated plea. Position number 18 and 19 was released. Position number 20 was a negotiated plea. Position number 21 was not arraigned, reset for the competency calendar for July the 11th. Position number 22 was released. Position number 23 was a negotiated plea. Position number 24 was null pros. Position number 25 was released, reset further notice. Position number 26, was reset for July the 11th SAP calendar. Position number 27 was a plea. 28 and 29 were a plea. Position number 30, I have that he was arraigned, correct?
Oh, let me look.
I know it was reset jail jury, but did we arraign him?
That's what I have.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
he was
thank you.
arraigned. He was arraigned, thank you.
And that's for position number 30, 31, and 32 were all arraigned reset jail jury. Position number 33 was reset for July the 11th SAP calendar. Position number 34 and 35 were pleas. On the add-on calendar, position number 1 and 2 and 3 were released, reset further notice. Oh, I'm sorry, and position number 4 was reset further notice because she was released. Position number 5 and 6 are reset for July the 11th SAP calendar. And position number 7 was reset for the competency calendar for July the 27th.
Any comments, changes, corrections, or otherwise? All right, hearing none, will be in recess until Thursday's SCA calendar. Thursday's SAP calendar. Take care, everyone. Please submit any evals to Ms. Strong so that I can go ahead and sign those and get those in process. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's the no
Thank you.
Thank
process?
you.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.